Suzan-Lori Parks is here. She won this year's Pulitzer Prize for drama for her play Topdog, Underdog. She is the first ever African-American woman to receive the honor. Ben Brantley of the New York Times wrote, "The play vibrates with the clamor of big ideas, audaciously and exuberantly expressed. She demonstrates that she can shape a captivating narrative without sacrificing her high thematic ambitions." Ooh. Thank you, Mr. Brantley.
Yeah, right.
I am pleased to have her on this program, and congratulations on the Pulitzer.
Thank you so very much.
Oh,
Thank
man.
You. It's a joy. It's been quite a crazy couple of weeks.
Like what? I mean, what's happened?
Oh, every
friend you've ever had.
Well, that's the wonderful part too, because there are a lot of friends that I went to college with, a lot of people whose numbers I've lost along the way, and everyone's calling me. And those who can't get through because my phone's always busy, I call them. You know, and it's really been a wonderful time. Some students came down from Mount Holyoke College, where I went to school. We all hung out afterwards, so it's been like an extended family reunion. So it's really been great.
You are not an overnight sensation.
No, it's been a long night. If I am, it's been a real long night. Yeah, but
yeah. Tell me the bio of you.
From
Mount Holyoke. No.
Exactly.
Did you come out of Mount Holyoke saying I want to write?
Oh, I want to write plays. Yeah.
Plays.
Yeah. That's when I started. I started writing plays in 1982, and I graduated from Mount Holyoke in 1985. So I had started, on the road before I graduated. I took a class with James Baldwin while I was enrolled at Mount Holyoke, and it was a creative writing class. We sat around a table, kind of like this, except it was a rectangle, and he sat at the head, and there were 15 of us, 3 from each of the colleges in the Pioneer Valley, the 5-college consortium. And when I read my plays, I was, I would always, and the character does it. I mean, they weren't plays. I'm sorry. Let me say it. When I read my short stories, because I was writing short stories then, I was always very animated. And one day he said, "Have you ever thought about
plays?"
Exactly. And I'd never thought about writing plays, really. But I started then. I started writing plays then. So.
Yeah. And did you have a gift for it? You think? Then.
I had.
An instinct? Did characters come alive? Could you think dialogue like...
Well, characters did come alive for me, and that's why when I read for my own work, I would be so, the characters on the page that I had written would inspire me so completely. But,
But you've been writing about 10 or 15 years.
1982
is that's 20 years. Yeah.
That's only plays. I was writing short stories and working on like a novel and stuff before then.
What's this play about? How did it start? I mean, what about these two characters?
It's about these 2 brothers whose names are Lincoln and Booth, whose father named them Lincoln and Booth as a joke. And Lincoln, the older brother,
Booth and
Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, but these guys' names are just Lincoln and Booth. I don't know their last name actually, which is
You don't. Never thought about it. Never gave them a last name.
They never told it to me. Maybe it's...
No, they never told you. Characters tell you.
Oh, sure. No, I don't give. I mean, if you give... It's like if you give someone a piece of clothing, they might say thank you, but they won't wear it, if it's not right, so...
So Lincoln would have said to you, "My name is Lincoln."
Lincoln Jones.
Jones,
no, they never said their last names to me.
So what did you start with?
Oh, I know, this play, Lincoln and Booth, they're brothers, Bun-a-bump.
Bun-a-bump?
Yeah.
Where does Bun-a-bump go?
Well, right, so then you sit down and you say, well, I don't know, and then, the whole thing about 3-card Monte, which is another aspect
Lincoln plays 3-card Monte.
Lincoln used to be a great 3-card Monte hustler.
Right.
And has given it up because something in him one day said, this is not good for me. This is going to lead somewhere bad for me. So he gave it up. He swore off the cards and took a job in an arcade as a Lincoln impersonator, an Abraham Lincoln impersonator. So all day he sits in a chair, puts on white face, he puts on a top hat, a frock coat, and sits in a chair all day and allows people in the arcade to come in and shoot a cap gun at his head, and he plays dead, reenacting that thing that happened.
3-card Monte to playing Lincoln.
Well, exactly. Well, he's a working man. Some men, a lot of men, they're not content, no job. They'll go out and they'll find a job and they'll honest work, and he's very hardworking. His brother, little brother Booth, desperately wants to learn how to throw the cards. Booth has a girlfriend, Grace, and he really wants to kind of impress his girlfriend and get things started or restarted with her. and he thinks that learning how to be a great card hustler is the way to a better life. Of course, Lincoln doesn't want to teach him how to do this horrible thing, this card thing. That's basically the play.
Well, the play is that, but it's also about it's also about their vulnerabilities. It's also about that they explore what they knew, and one knew more about their mother.
Right.
You know.
Right.
It's also about having relationships with one of their girlfriends and all of that.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's about brothers.
It's about brothers.
Talking.
It's about family. It's about being yourself. You see, Booth, his name is Booth. In the first scene, he tells us that he doesn't want to be called Booth anymore. He wants to be called Three Card. That's his new name. Three Card. You know, Three Card, Monty by Three Card. He imagines himself, one day he will be this great card hustler, and he will have this great name, Three Card, He wants to be someone other than who he is. Lincoln, his older brother, has pushed the cards away. A great card hustler, he has rejected the cards, so he's not being himself. This is really deep and weird. This doesn't go into, when I write the plays, I don't think about any of these things.
You just think about what they're saying to each other.
What they're saying, what they're doing on
one
stage.
One thing that says leads you to another thing. All right, roll tape. This is a scene from Topdog, Underdog.
How you gonna get a woman if you don't got a phone? Women these days are more cautious, they're more, more circumspect. You go into a club looking like a fast daddy, you get a filly to give you her numero phono, and gone is the days that she just give you her number and don't ask for yours.
Like a woman gonna call me.
She don't want to call you. She just doing a preliminary survey of the property. Link, you don't know nothing no more. She gives you her number. She asks for yours. You give her your number. The phone number of your home. They're about telling her three things. One, you got a home. You ain't no smooth talking, smooth dressing homeless Joe. Two, that you was in possession of a telephone and a working telephone number, which is to say that you got the cash and the wherewithal to acquire for your own self the world's most revolutionary communication apparatus, and you together enough to pay your bills. What's three? You give her your number, you tell her that it is cool to call if she should so please. That is, you ain't got no wife or no wife approximation on the premises.
Sounds like good advice to me. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's great because Booth is really a man of the world. He knows some things that Lincoln doesn't know.
He knows things.
Yeah, he knows things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things he doesn't know, but he does know a few things. And when he comes up upon something he knows, he really works it. Oh, they do such a wonderful job, Mosa and Jeffrey, really.
Yeah. Now, Don Cheadle, who's one of my favorite actors.
Yes.
I mean, he's been in Traffic. He's been in so many great movies, right? Says that this reminds him of your work, of Athol Fugard's Blood Knot. Do you think that's true or not? Did you know that?
Oh, did I know the play?
No, did you know he had said that?
Oh,
does it ring true to you?
Oh, well, it's so funny.
He said it's because it's a careful dissection of a brotherly relationship.
Sure. I don't know. It's funny. For every seat in the house, there's a different take on this play, I think, and for every seat in the house, there's a different. This will remind someone of something, else. I read Blood Knot so many years ago. I don't remember exactly when I read. I know the play, and I'm a fan of Athol Fugard's, but it's a dissection of brotherly relationships. But it's something. There's something else. There's going on. It's also a dissection of the way we behave around each other and the layers of personality, the layers of being that are required just to get through the day. Lincoln putting on an outfit, Lincoln playing Lincoln, the character Lincoln playing Abraham Lincoln, just to get through the day, just to pay the rent. The roles we play just to make ends meet. Yeah. So there's a lot going on, and it depends. I watch it, so every night when I watch it, I come away with something different.
You have said that part of what, somewhere, in some very basic and deep way, that you're writing plays to give African-American men and women an opportunity to act on stage.
Yeah, sure. That's you could say that's what this play is about, at the deep kind of basic root. It's also about, because at the end of the play is over, the lights come up, the actors take their bows, we applaud. you know, most of the time. And it's about two African-American men getting together and working together, you know. So most nights after watching the play, because I've seen it so many times now, that's what the play's about to me. The opportunity to give two black guys a chance to work together.
On stage.
Yeah. Yeah, and represent, you know, represent.
Something in a larger community.
Yeah. You know, so when this play is done in, you know, maybe small theaters around the country, that's what will be happening all over the country. Two guys will get together and work together. And work out stuff while they're working on the play. You know, it's very exciting.
The only criticism I've read about you is that some say, as you know, you're writing stereotypical characters and they don't like that.
Oh.
Have you ever read that?
You know
what
people,
I mean?
yeah, well,
because
people,
they want you to.
Yeah.
It is this notion that you know all those characters, Precard Monty and all that, write about lawyers and doctors and blues players. And
Well, blues music. Well, that could be
blues
also.
would be a stereotypical too.
Well, exactly. Well, see, the thing is, it's tricky. You know, I am not a writer who sits down and says, I have a message and I'm going to shove it down the throat of the audience and I want them to leave the theater with thinking such and such. I'm a writer who says, you know, the character taps on my shoulder, pulls my ear, and I say, oh, you want to be in a play? Okay, I'll write it.
Is that what happens?
Yeah. So sometimes they're three-card Monte hustlers, sometimes they're homeless women, sometimes they're sideshow freaks. But you know, people are funny. If I wrote about doctors and lawyers, the same people would probably say, oh, come on, girl, why can't you keep it real?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not out there to please people, the hundreds of thousands of millions of people in the world.
You're out there to please whom?
I'm out there to write these plays for my characters who tap on my shoulder and say, hey, girl, put me in your play. That's who I want to please.
And then you say to them, what are you about?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Who are you and what do you want?
Yeah. And what's your story?
And leave me alone.
Yeah.
I
got these other characters over here. I'll get to you later.
Right. So
you
they
know,
stand
come back
in line.
later. Come back in a year or two,
well,
maybe
they
already.
stand in line. Sure, there's a line. They wait like planes on a runway. On a runway. They're waiting to take off, you know?
Yes.
So
they're saying, I'm bigger, I should be better, I've got more urgency. Put me ahead of the line.
Well, then that's when they get.
But they'd get there, too, if they could prove you.
Sure.
If they could say to you, listen, listen.
Right.
I can't wait. Don't put me at the back of the line. I want to be there now at the top. Listen.
And it won't take too long.
It won't take too long. Just give me a moment to tell you my story.
That was Lincoln Booth. We won't. Hey, 3 days, girl. Come on, let's hit it. Hey, okay, fine.
We can get it done.
Right.
You and I together.
Right.
I'll tell you.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, and I listen to them. That's who I want to please. That's who I write for. Those people.
Congratulations on the Pulitzer Prize.
Thank you so very much.
It's really nice.
Thank you. I squealed. Are we done?
We did. Suzan-Lori Parks, Pulitzer Prize for Top Dog, Underdog.